I just don't even know who could sit there and do this and walk away and go on a living with their life and not understand what kind of damage they've done.
A deadly hit-and-run crash leaves a Colorado woman without her husband and her children without a father. The victim's best friend has a message for the driver as the community rallies around the family during this moment of grief. Back to school starts in the Denver metro area on Monday. The schedule for districts starting the fall semester, the changes for colleges in Colorado, and security plans to protect your children. Today, athletes will bike, swim, and run in Boulder's Ironman competition. We're featuring one of the competitors who's racing for a greater cause.
Good morning and welcome to Denver 7 News. I'm Jessica Crawford.
And I'm Katie LaSalle. Thank you so much for being with us on this Saturday morning. We'll start with some stories we're following for you this weekend. Can you believe it is already time for some Colorado students to go back to school? The first Denver Metro school district starting classes this year is Douglas County. Kids there go back in just 2 days. So final weekend of summertime for some kids. This weekend, it's going to be a nice one, but starting on Monday, August 8th, Aurora, Adams 14, they start the next day, and then 27J and Greeley Evans start Thursday. Our largest school districts, Jeffco and Denver, start later on in the month.
And today, you can decide which flowers end up in Colorado stores. CSU in Fort Collins is asking the public to judge more than 1,400 varieties of flowers. University experts grow a flower trail garden each year to determine which flowers grow best in Colorado's harsh conditions. Voting helps determine which flowers go from trial status to the stores. Viewing and voting starts at 9 this morning and it goes through noon. Well, ice cream, you scream, we all scream for brand new ice cream. Van Leeuwen Ice Cream is opening its first Colorado shop in Boulder on 28th Street, and it's opening one in Denver on Larimer Square next month.
Exciting stuff. Van Leeuwen makes French and vegan ice creams with a wide variety of flavors. You got your classics from vanilla and chocolate to more fancy varieties. Earl Grey tea, macaroni and cheese even. In Boulder, their Rocky Mountain Road will be a spruce tree flavored ice cream. Be a great day for a nice cool treat. We're expecting our daytime highs to return to the 90s. It won't be as scorching as what we experienced yesterday, though, across the plains. This morning, we're waking up to a mix of sun and clouds, some really pleasant conditions. Outside right now, very comfortable at 73 degrees, both downtown Denver, out to the airport. Winds relatively calm, sustained from the northwest at 6 miles per hour. Here's our climate calendar for August 6th. Our record is 100, set back in 1980. Usually this time of the year, we top out in the high 80s across Metro Denver, so a lot more seasonal this afternoon. 93 degrees expected Littleton down through Highlands Ranch, Thornton, Broomfield, Boulder, all getting to the low 90s this afternoon. Up into the high country from Estes Park through Grand Lake, high 70s return, and we will be seeing more storm activity. A risk of stronger thunderstorms possible over northeastern Colorado. Here's Futurecast. You can see we'll be dry for the first half of the day, but do expect some raindrops and gusty winds to roll through this evening. Jessica.
Loved ones are demanding a hit-and-run driver come forward and claim responsibility after killing a 41-year-old man and his 2 dogs. Jason Lyman works overnights at Boeing, and yesterday morning he took his dogs out for a walk around 2:30 when he got home. But he never made it back to his wife and kids, and his neighbors are still in shock.
It just broke my heart this morning to read that, because I saw him just the other day coming home late from my sister's house, and I was thinking, oh, how nice that he probably comes home late from work and he makes sure that he takes his little dogs out.
Aurora police say the driver swerved onto the sidewalk near Reservoir and Mansfield, just south of Hamden and Tower Road, hitting Jason Lyman and his 2 dogs, killing all 3. Police say the driver ditched the Toyota Sequoia and left. Lyman's best friend, Travis Owens, is pleading for the driver to come forward.
The best thing you can do is turn yourself in. I understand it may have been a mistake, but don't compound it. Do not compound it by hiding. You need to come in and you need to make restitution for what you've done, even if it was a mistake. We all have choices. This is your choice.
Owen says he's enraged by whoever did this, but it's time to do the right thing and come forward. That SUV was not reported stolen, and Aurora police are working to contact the owner. His best friend says that Lyman was the breadwinner for his family. A GoFundMe account has been set up to help his wife and 3 kids. You can find the details by going to this story on thedenverchannel.com.
Heartbreaking for his friends and family. Well, the Department of Public Safety says body camera video of last month's police shooting in Lower Downtown will be released August 16th. That is if attorneys for the suspect in the case don't object. 6 bystanders were injured when officers fired at a man police say flashed a gun at them near 20th and Larimer just after bars closed back on July 17th. The suspect, Jordan Waddy, was shot. He survived, and he is now charged with assault and 3 counts of possession of a weapon by a previous offender.
College students are getting ready to go back to school soon, and CSU says it is seeing record-breaking enrollment this year. But that means between 400 and 500 students won't be able to live in the dorms. Instead, they're going to have to move into a Best Western across the street from the campus. But CSU says they're confident that they can provide the same kind of security and safety at the hotel as they do on campus.
And it's a good problem to have. I know it feels really hard to say that, and it really is demonstrating that students want to come to CSU, that they want to come to college.
They'll have the same access to RAs, the CSU community, having the independence, walking to class, and hopefully enjoying their first year of college successfully.
Normally, the school would have enough dorms for all the students, but one of the largest dorms, Westfall Hall, is undergoing renovations. Those are expected to be finished by next fall. MSU Denver is freezing its tuition rate for incoming students and current students, citing high inflation and recession worries. On average, in-state students will pay $3,300 per semester. The rate will be around $10,000 for out-of-state students. The rates will be locked in for new undergrads for the next 4 years, current undergrads for the next 3, and transfer students for the next 2 years. As preparation starts for the upcoming school year, administrators are looking at their safety plans right now. Chloe Nordquist shows us the demand the security industry is facing.
This is the school response protocol that we use.
Jeff Pearson works in school safety at Jefferson County Public Schools. Like many school districts, they're preparing to keep kids safe this fall. The recent events in Uvalde added to the burden many safety experts face.
This year, some of our big points of emphasis are really around logical thinking around your building. What types of things do you need to be knowledgeable of around locked doors? What type of doors are accessible to people?
For security consulting companies, it's been a busy summer.
We've been pretty busy getting contacted by schools from the elementary school level through high school and even colleges. They've contacted us to come in and do security assessments.
Joe Lawless looks at what technologies and systems schools have in place, the training and drills they practice, and their relationship with local law enforcement.
The first thing we do is we go into these schools and we do a physical security assessment. We look at locks, closed circuit television, buzzers to buzz people in and out, entranceways, access control.
There is a lot of focus on the basics, but they also look at what's being discussed industry-wide.
I think at the national level, you're always going to hear about the latest and greatest.
There's a lot of fad issues that come on, and some of those are very good. I mean, some of those items are very useful in the case of a shooting.
From bulletproof backpacks and whiteboards to new safety systems, products pop up frequently with the purpose of helping protect schools.
The inquiries have increased greatly since the last shooting, just based off what our product is and does.
Protected Rooms started a couple years ago, designed a mobile piece of furniture that fits into classrooms. These bookcases are built with bullet-resistant panels and a latch system.
It's designed to be rolled in front of an opening or a door from the inside of the room and latched to the wall.
Another company, National Safety Shelters, took an existing tornado shelter and turned it into a multi-purpose safety pod.
It's best not to let somebody in the school in the first place. But as we've seen throughout the last 20 years or so, even when some schools have those things in place, they don't always prevent the person from getting in. What we're offering is a safety net. Should those things fail.
Joe Lawless says these are great tools, but they should supplement what is already in place.
You can't lose sight of your training, what the protocols are.
It's about making sure that you keep it what we call safety 101. Locking doors, ensuring that the things that you do every single day, muscle memory, drills with kids, those things that are very important to us.
I'm Chloe Nordquist reporting.
Just so important to keep our schools safe. Well, today, hundreds of athletes in Boulder are there to compete in the Ironman triathlon, in addition to all the loved ones on the race course cheer them on.
And on the surface, this race is impressive, but there is even more going on behind the scenes with these competitors. Denver 7's Christian Lopez is live in Boulder where the race is underway with a look at one of those incredible stories.
Yeah, an Ironman 70.3 is a triathlon that includes swimming, biking, and running. And at 7, we showed you the swimming portion of it. Now people have moved on to those bikes this morning with their friends and family members cheering them on the sidelines. And we talked to one man who is participating in the race today who is actually battling stage 4 prostate cancer. Sam Macarola had competed in several triathlons before he was diagnosed back in 2019. He was given 5 years to live, and he wasn't sure if he would continue to compete or not. But he wanted to maintain the hobbies that made him feel alive while also spending time with his wife. And today he'll be swimming 1.2 miles, biking 56 miles, and running 13.1 miles. This event is very meaningful for Sam because he wants to raise money and awareness for the disease.
I would go to a session of chemo, come home, I'd have a swim session and a bike session. Sometimes the obstacle is the way. So if I'm tired, the best way to get untired is to go work through it.
And if you'd like to support Sam's cause, we do have a link on our website, thedenverchannel.com. Just look for the story. And if you are going to be near the Boulder Reservoir this morning, just make sure that you are ready for those detours and traffic delays. And of course, keep in mind that there are several people on bikes and also who will be running the course today. Live in Boulder, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
And Sam doing a fundraiser for research through this race. Very, very incredible man. Well, a cancer diagnosis is overwhelming in its own right, let alone coordinating all the new medical care that your loved one might need. The simple act this week's Denver 7 Everyday Hero is doing to take a load off patients, that's making a big difference.
Plus, a Ukrainian woman fleeing the war zone landed in Colorado 8 months pregnant. How our community came together to give her and her new daughter a better life here in the Centennial State.